Hey everyone, MeltingMan234 here, and today is just going to be another update video with some more rambling. Kinda makes me wonder if I should stop doing these update videos, because looking back at my previous ones, it feels like I'm just spewing out empty promises on what video projects I'm working on and all that. Oh well. This is going to be the April Fool's video with the misleading title like, "Oh, YouTube poop Benny the Great Soft Jelly Thing does a thing." Yeah, that seems to be a recurring theme with these April Fool videos, having the misleading titles being references to Tom's Terrifying Tales from the Toaster. Yeah, that's a pretty old and pretty weird series. But due to recent events that I'll explain, I'm gonna post this video up early. So, first off, I've been dealing with two jobs for a while, which is why I was feeling a bit moody in one of my YouTube posts, and I've had no motivation to work on such projects. But now I've been offered a job down in Illinois to work at a TV station. Yeah, finally getting a job that's in my field, and hopefully all those years of taking film and editing classes at college will finally pay off. Now, I currently live in Michigan with my parents, so moving down there and actually trying to live and survive on my own, it's all happening very fast. It's gonna be big, challenging, emotional, and very, very scary. Especially during these dark times with that pesky coronavirus going around spreading panic and paranoia. I've been doing okay dealing with this, wash my hands more often and all that. My biggest challenge is just trying to keep my mental health under control. Okay, enough about the virus talk. Here's a picture of Megumi cuddling with some Pokemon. Aww. Yeah, I think we all need some wholesome and comforting pics these days. So throughout this video, I'm gonna highlight a couple of few cute pics that I've done on DeviantArt. But yeah, it's kind of funny looking back how I stated, I think I stated somewhere that I wanted to make 2020 a good year for making content. Yet deep down, I had this feeling that this would be a big change for me. Which also means I'll be slowing down on making content even more, which I'm sure you guys are used to it by now. But regardless, I am thankful for all my subscribers and everyone who has still followed me over the years. Right now, the only thing that I can promise is the 10th anniversary video, unless it becomes the 11th anniversary video when August comes. But as for Forgotten Media, Give Me Chaos Theories, and possibly try and bring back Sonic reviews, they'll come out when I have time and motivation to work on them. That's all I'm gonna say. It'll be quite the challenge in getting used to this new job, as well as finding another one until I get full-time, hopefully. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, like, oh, why am I so focused with the whole two jobs thing? Well, that's simple. It's because I much prefer not selling my soul to Google to become a fancy YouTube partnership thingy to get paid to make videos, and becoming a big sellout and advertising random crap that no one cares about, and dealing with that demonetization thing on a daily basis. Yeah, no thanks. As for other projects, I've recorded some lines for a new episode on Sonic Dissected, where we talk about the Sonic movie. Yep, joining Roger and Luke again in that series, only this time it's a small appearance, as there are lots of other guest characters that show up in this video. Funny enough, this was something that I joked about with Roger months ago on Discord, like, oh, when you guys do the Sonic movie on Sonic Dissected, you should, like, round up all your previous guest stars. I think by now the video's uploaded. I would post a link to the video in the description, but it's been blocked. Yeah, great. This is the third flippin' time a Sonic Dissected episode has been blocked on YouTube. And to think those other two were some of my favorite episodes, and now I can't watch them anymore. Humph. I wish someone could find a way to save those videos or edit them to make them, YouTube friendly. Or perhaps save them and upload them onto different video stream sites like Dailymotion or Vimeo or heck, maybe Vidly. I've heard that's a site that's a nice little replica of what YouTube used to look like back in the day. Okay, quick update on the Sonic Movie Dissected episode. Currently, it's being re-edited to hopefully get back up on YouTube, so if this video gets done and whatnot, it should be back up by now, or hopefully soon, or if it ends up getting blocked again, then yeah, I'm gonna get pissed again. Okay, so enough of the stress thing. Here's another cute pic that I did. Let's see which one. Oh yes, the Toria holding young Tails, or classic Tails, or whatever. Yeah. 'Cause everybody loves Goat Mom. Alright, so that's all the big major updates. So the rest of the video I'm just gonna be rambling on about some random stuff and whatnot. Like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Man, it's amazing how this game went from remastering both CTR and Crash Nitro Kart to becoming a celebration of the franchise's history thanks to all of the Grand Prix events we've had. And since there will be no more Grand Prix, I might as well talk about my thoughts on these events. Nitro Tour, the first event that showcases the return of Tawna and the Trophy Girls, now renamed the Nitro Squad. Yeah, a lot of people were wondering if those gals would be showing up, and here they are, playable characters and have actual personalities. Tawna being more of the no-nonsense one, Amy the tomboy who's always ready for a challenge, Liz the sassy one who wants to be famous, Isabella the lovely one who has a temper, and of course Megumi, the cute and sweet one, who is my favorite Nitro Squad gal. In fact, I've done a series of her on DeviantArt called Motivations from Megumi, which is just a collection of pics of Megumi with some motivational quotes in the background. The new track was also pretty cool, combining the Arabian and Egyptian theme levels from Crash 3, so yeah, nice way to start off the Grand Prix events. Next was the Back in Time event, probably one of my least favorite ones. I mean, sure, it was neat seeing Baby T again, new content was neat. I didn't have any problems with the Baby Crash or Baby Coco characters. And the prehistoric track's backstory was pretty funny. You know, fake Crash stealing Entropy staff and messing around in the past. Yeah, that was all amusing. But overall, something just didn't click with me with this event. And it wasn't just because of the whole microtransactions drama. Seeing as how they're purely optional, I didn't bother with that. I still stick to grinding, and I eventually managed to clear out the pit stop. Well, until the next updates. Spyro and Friends Grand Prix. Yep, Spyro's back again, joining in the races. Which is interesting, seeing as how he actually was a secret unlockable character in the Game Boy Advance version of Nitro Kart. But now we also get Hunter and Nasty Nork, which is pretty cool. Wish you would have had some more characters though, but oh well. The new track was also cool, driving through the worlds of the first Spyro game and all. So yeah, I was definitely hyped to see two of my childhood gaming icons together in one game again. It was also surprising seeing costumes for Coco and Crunch that were referencing Crash Mind Over Mutants. Yeah, that was surprising. It just goes to show that BNX is not afraid to showcase some of the not so well received elements of the franchise. They just go all out with showcasing the franchise's history, and I love it. The Spooky Grand Prix, yeah, the Halloween themed event. This one's my second favorite Grand Prix, bringing in some fan favorites like Komodo Mo, Andrio, and even Nina Cortex into the game. A cool Halloween themed racetrack, lots of cool costumes, as well as the introduction of engine swapping. So you know how Tiny the Tiger is more of a speed class like in the original, well now he can be any kind of driving class. And that was definitely a great addition to this game. The Neon Circus Grand Prix, a circus-themed event with some of the Crash Tag Team Racing characters getting some attention again, along with bringing in Koala Kong and introducing the humorous King Chicken character. Yeah, I like the racetrack, all bright and colorful and whatnot. Costumes were also fun, rustic fake Crash and the circus-themed Nitro Squad gals. Honestly, I wasn't much of a fan of Pasadena Opossum back then. Then I was surprised to see that she does have her fans that people were wanting to see her in this game. So nowadays I'm slowly warming up to this character. For some reason I find it amusing how her new voice actress is Debbie Derryberry doing a southern accent. This event also introduced the Ring Rally game mode, and it's definitely a lot of fun racing through hoops and how the boost you get increases with every lap you complete. The Winter Festival Grand Prix, the Christmas themed event. This one's my number one favorite Grand Prix event with its new racetrack, lots of great costumes for the characters, and a few other things. But I mostly enjoy it because they get to showcase some of the more obscure characters from the franchise, like Rillabroo from Crash Bash, that apparently people complain that he looked too ugly. It's like, well, that's kind of the deal with Rillabroo. He's not the most prettiest character. I mean, heck, in the instruction manual from Crash Bash, he's just a silhouette and whatnot. And whenever I look at Rillabroo in this particular image, I, for some reason, immediately think of Jack Black. I don't know why, it just happens. But aside from that, I was mostly very excited to see Yaya Panda in the game. Now this is a character that was only featured in some very obscure Crash racing games on mobile phones from like 2012 or whatnot. I was all for seeing Yaya show up in the game before the announcement came, so I was definitely very excited that she got a second chance. Clearly this is something Sega could learn a thing or two about with their Museum of Forgotten Characters. And the new character Hasty was also pretty cool. Interesting how he was inspired by a myth about the scrapped hippo racer in the original CTR. So yeah, Winter Festival Grand Prix is definitely my favorite Grand Prix out of the 8. Rustland Grand Prix, the post-apocalyptic theme event with its racetrack racing through the remains of Ruse tubes, and Engine's battleship from Crash to Insanity, as well as the surprising appearance of Megamix, the mutated creature of some of Crash's enemies. Now this was a character originating from Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure from the 100% ending, and I will admit that his design back then was a bit lazy, but now they've reintroduced him, looking a lot more grotesque and mutated. Yeah, good stuff. And the new mass power-up for that track was also pretty cool, the Apu Apu character. Basically, this is what happens when you combine the Titans and Mutants versions of Aku Aku and Uka Uka into one character. So yeah, fun event. And finally, there's the Gas Moxia Grand Prix, an event taking place in Oxide's home planet on a super tricky racetrack featuring two fast food restaurants that war with each other over a sponsorship deal for CTR TV. The new costumes were cool, especially Megumi's outfit and the animation that she has for it. And this time, we not only get Velo's hovercraft, but also Emperor Velo the 27th himself. Now, this is a guy people have been wanting to see in the game since it came out, not to mention the fact that this version of Velo was technically a playable character in the Game Boy Advance version of Nitro Kart. Well, yeah, he's finally in the game along with his carts, which I was pretty excited to see. I seem to have a thing for hovercraft carts in this game, because before the game came out, I was very excited to see Oxide's hovercraft become an optional cart to choose. But yeah, I think this is a nice way to end the Grand Prix events. Even so, they're already announced that they'll still be adding in new content, mostly characters and cards and cosmetic items. So who knows, maybe we'll see even more obscure characters, like Viscount from Crash Boom Bang, or Mr. Crumb from the Crash Bandicoot Tiger Electronic game. At this point, anything goes. Alright, time to showcase another cute pic I did. Here's one. Young Starlight Glimmer cuddling with her blanket. Aww. Yeah, this was when I started to experiment in trying to make MOP vector images using Adobe Illustrator. It was, yeah, definitely a challenge, but I think this one came out pretty good. I made a few other MOP vectors on DeviantArt, but it seems like my first one is my most popular one. So yeah, there it is, just Young Starlight Glimmer there. As for other games that I played or looking forward to, well, I'd gotten around to that Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, the Remind one. First thing that came to my mind when I was playing it was, holy shit, Christopher Lloyd is now voicing Master Xehanort! Yeah, imagine that, Doc Brown now voicing the big bad guy in this game series. For the most part, it's a boss rush, and I was able to plow through some of it, mostly because I'd already maxed out my stats to level 99. Then came the super bosses, and refining the new Organization 13. All I had left to fight was Master Xehanort and Shion, and then I gave up. So yeah, I never got around to fighting Yozora, the final boss in that DLC. Maybe one day I'll fully complete it, but until then I pretty much just watch the remaining cutscenes on YouTube. Then there was also the Medieval Remastered game. That was fun to play. Already did a full written review on that on my DeviantArt page in one of my journal entries, as well as my previous experience in playing the other Medieval games. Other than that, still looking forward to Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I'll most likely get that for the Switch. And still waiting to see who the next DLC fighter will be for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I will admit the last one was a bit disappointing. Like, really? Another Fire Emblem character? I guess the director just really loves Fire Emblem. But at least we got Banjo and Kazooie into the game. I was crying tears of joy from that reveal trailer. It's like, yay, one of my childhood gaming icons now in Smash Brothers. As for what fighters I'd like to see in the game, I don't know, maybe Crash Bandicoot. In fact, he's one of the most heavily rumored DLC fighters. And considering how we have an Assassin's Creed costume for one of the Mii fighters, it could be possible. But due to what's been going on these days, we'll most likely have to wait a little longer to see who the next fighter will come to Smash. What else did I talk about? Oh yeah, film and TV shows. I guess I could talk a little bit about that. Recently finished marathoning Samurai Jack. Loved that series back in the old days of Cartoon Network, and I was surprised to see it come back on Adult Swim where they made a 10-episode season to help give the series some proper closure. This show was actually my first introduction back in the day where, the whole show don't tell thing can be very effective when done right in storytelling and whatnot. And I just found that so fascinating when I was young. So yeah, great to see the show again. It's definitely still a great show even now. Let's see. Oh yeah, then there was the Green Eggs and Ham series on Netflix. That was surprisingly good. Animation was great, voices were good. interestingly how they found a way to try and expand the story and focusing, more on the characters and such. But even so, there's still that whole running theme with Sam constantly pestering the other guy who's called Guy Am I in the show about trying green eggs and ham, and he still refuses, like, nope, I will not eat them, Sam, I am. So yeah, surprisingly good. I've heard I've heard there's gonna be like a season 2 or whatnot, considering how the first season, last episode, ended on a cliffhanger. So it's been confirmed. So yeah, hoping to see that coming to fruition one day. Let's see what else gonna talk about. Oh yeah, IDW Sonic. Yep, I'm still following that series, still enjoying it, and it's pretty much is a good Sonic series that I still follow. In fact, it's the only Sonic series that I still follow. But even so, I have started to notice over time that the comics have been suffering a lot of delays for some reason. I mean, heck, issue 25 got delayed 4 flippin' times before it finally got released. And nowadays, with the whole virus drama and IDW currently being suspended on some properties and the fate of the company and IDW Sonic being unclear at the moment, yeah, who knows? Especially, considering the fact that we're still in that story arc of the whole metal virus drama and what's been going on these days. Yeah, probably not a good idea to still continue that. Well, right now anyway. But I will be sad if IDW Sonic does end up getting cancelled after, if we can all pull through this and whatnot. Well, if it does get cancelled, then I guess I'll just have to play the waiting game to see what other comic book company will get the Sonic license. And that's all I have to say about this update/rambling video. I guess one thing I could do is showcase another cute pic. Okay, I'm kind of cheating with this one. This is something I didn't make, but I did commission an artist. And it's this one, Cream the Rabbit as Snow White. Yaw. This was a pic that I commissioned Dr. Quack64 DeviantArt to do. So yeah, there's a lot of great artwork over there. Yeah, lots of cute stuff and whatnot, especially with Cream the Rabbit. It just seems like in his art style, he makes her look so precious. So yeah, check out his artwork when you have the time. You want something more bright and colorful to cheer you up during these days. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Big changes are coming to my personal life. Video projects will take a lot longer, but I'll still become active on DeviantArt and Twitter and Discord, trying to post some uh, random images and whatnot. Twitter just posting random things, and then Discord just chatting with people, especially for people that are stuck in quarantine or being in lockdown during these dark times. So, yeah, all I can do is just keep our mental health under control and stay clean and everything. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video before I become more depressed. So, yeah, that's it. Big changes. Gotta stop repeating myself. So, that's about it. So, I'll see you next time.